chapter 20 of the Wise Enchanter. Oh, we're getting there. Look at that. Not many pages left. Now they're looking for the letter T. That night, Sipho had been awakened by something trying to nudge the magic book out from under him. When he opened his eyes, a cloud had crossed in front of the moon, and it was so dark that he could see nothing. Then he'd felt something nudging him, trying to push him aside. Without thinking any further, he knew what he had to do. He grabbed hold of the magic book for dear life. Then he got up on his knees and crawled, elbows first, toward the bag that usually kept the magic book. Whatever was nosing around backed off for an instant. The book seemed to weigh a ton in his hands, and he fumbled for the bag and then dropped the book in the shadows next to his sleeping friends and ran into the night. Something chased him. He knew it was an animal, but it ran lightly and soundlessly across the ground and seemed to always be the exact same distance behind him. Just as Sipho was tiring, the moon came out from behind the cloud, and he saw, too late, a hole in the ground in front of him. He tumbled into it. He fell a long way but hit the ground without hurting himself. When he looked around, he saw that he was inside a cave. The entrance was just an arm's length away, and whatever had been chasing him was no longer to be heard and hadn't fallen with him into the hole. Sipho crept carefully outside. He could smell that the dawn was not far off. The night stars were dipping below the horizon, and he could smell the sweet fragrance of spring in the air. He looked behind him. There was nothing there. The landscape, he could tell, was no longer so sparse. In the distance, he could hear the rumbling of water, and he knew he'd left whatever was chasing him in another place altogether. Fearing that the magic book would be gone, but trusting that his friends would use their gifts to find him, Sipho began to walk wearily toward the sound of the water. As the sun slowly rose, light caught swirls of mist rising up from the dense grassy bush ahead. Flowers opened and sweet smells filled the air. Birds sang songs he thought he remembered from Africa. Grass grew knee-high, and there, beyond the tall canopy of a tree, was a thundering waterfall that plunged deep into a distant valley. Sipho lay down under the tree at the edge of the waterfall as the sun burned off the night's chill. He fell into an exhausted sleep. "I see him, I see him." At first he was certain the voices were part of a dream, but as they became more insistent, he realized that they came from outside the realm of dreams. "There he is. Oh, it's just like it looked in the magic opal. There's the opening to the cave, there's the tree, and there's the huge waterfall." "Sipho, are you all right? Please tell us you're okay." He opened his eyes, and the sunlight almost blinded him. 3 faces peered down at him anxiously. Then the dormouse jumped down out of the bag and ran all over him, sniffing him and making sure that he was intact and that no harm had come to him. "I'm really okay," Sipho said. "Do you have the magic book?" "Safe and sound," Lauren said. "We thought Urkel's messengers had taken you away." "I was chased by wolves or foxes or perhaps some kind of wild dogs, but they couldn't catch me. They don't know I've been running away from animals all my life. I think they thought I had the magic book with me." The children laughed and sat down in the grass next to Sipho and hugged him. "Those were Urkel's foxes," Michael said, "and I'm certain they wanted the magic book. Their eyesight can't be very good. The book was just lying there beneath the stars." "It feels better here," Lauren said, "as if the heaviness of the wide open plains has been left behind for a while." "I think they've lost our scent," Michael said. "We should be able to travel for a bit without being followed." "I hope so," said Rukmini. "Let's get out the magic book and show Sipho the speaking snake," Lauren said. As soon as the book was out of the bag, the dormouse crept into the space and made himself comfortable in a corner of the bag. Lauren opened the book, and they all looked at the beautiful S shape of the speaking snake. Sifo got up after a minute and looked at the waterfall. I'm just going to see if there's any way we can follow the river before anything follows us. All waterways must eventually lead to the sea, and this time we might find a coastline that we recognize. He walked toward the edge of the waterfall and looked down into the foaming currents below. As he stood there beneath the tree, Lauren, with her keen eyes and the magic book open before her, tapped Michael on the shoulder and pointed. What is it? Michael asked. Sifo, Lauren called, beckoning to him. He came running back. Look at the tree, she said. It's an umbrella tree. I know these trees. In Africa, they are the helpers. Their wide branches protect you from the sun, and their dark shadows hide you from anything that's chasing you. And I do see something, Sifo nodded. The tree with its wide, shady branches is a T. The symbol that comes after S is T. I thought we were losing our way. May I draw it? Yes, Lauren said, handing him the book, and draw yourself beneath it. So Sifo did. He drew a strong, sturdy tree whose arms reached out over the land and gave shelter to all who needed it. And there it was, the letter T. The image shone as if the heat of an African day suffused the page. Everyone took a deep breath. Then they wrapped the book in several layers of clothes and packed it into another bag so as not to disturb the sleeping dormouse. Can you see the T created by the umbrella tree? They are definitely getting there. They're on T. U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Only 6 more symbols. Only 6 more symbols. We'll find the next one in chapter 21.